Welcome to the new Black Belt update for December and January, and it's going to pre-frame what we're going to be doing this year, preparing you for your Black Belt, but more importantly, what we do as peak performance Black Belts. What we do repeatedly are the habits we build, and one of the habits we would like to build is excellence. So over these coming months, as we do our preparation for Black Belt, we're going to be constantly reminding you of this journey that we're on together, and how building good habits now will build excellence in the future. So as you practice, I want you to remind yourself that these habits are not only for martial arts or taekwondo, but more importantly, they're for your life. You will build better habits to make you excellent in life, with your family, with your friends, in your other activities and your academics, and perhaps even more importantly, as Black Belts and members of our Peak Performance Black Belt Academy. So as you read and listen to this update, I want you to focus on the idea that what we do repeatedly builds habits, and those habits build who we become. So build the habits of excellence, build habits of doing what you can to the best of your ability, but most importantly, build habits of not giving up no matter what challenge faces you. Once again, Happy New Year and Happy Holidays. See you in 2023.
Peak performance life skill. Today we're going to focus on an idea on how you can become better incrementally day by day. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. This was Aristotle, a great Greek philosopher who trained many other great philosophers. In this way, what he was speaking about was what you repeatedly do becomes a habit. And excellent is not an act, but a habit. So it means that if you, on a regular basis, practice and repeatedly do it over and over again, then you will become whatever that habit is. You become what you do. So if you want to be excellent, practice it daily. Do not equivocate. Do not settle for less. Settle only for more. Reach as far as you can for as long as you can, and then you will get the results that you are entitled to and that you want to achieve. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. According to Juan Moreno, Olympic coach and my former Olympic teammate. The idea here is that if you perfect your practice, in other words, you practice better, you think about what you want to practice and how and why, and you do it with a perfect intensity, with focus and intensity, then you will become better at what you're trying to accomplish. It is not simply the act of practicing, but more importantly, the way you approach practice and what you hope to accomplish at the end. In Zen Buddhism, they say how you do anything is how you do everything. This is the idea that if you do something, any one thing, any small thing, it will be the way that you do everything. So that even if you're doing something as mundane as sweeping or cleaning, you should do it with the same intensity as the things that you really want to do and really want to accomplish. So how you do anything, even the smallest thing, is how you can be expected to do everything. So do every task with the same intensity, and remember that you're building a habit of excellence, especially when you're doing those things that are mundane or you need to do on a daily basis to achieve your goal. How you do anything is how you will do everything. How you are and what you do in life is how you are and what you will do in the arena. Taekwondo is a microcosm of the macrocosm of life. The way that you deal with your life will be the way that you deal with Taekwondo, and the way you deal with Taekwondo is probably a reflection of the way that you deal with life. Taekwondo is a small world, but in it you will use the same tools and the habits you've built in life. So the better habits you build in life and the successes you have in life will be the way you approach Taekwondo. So if there's something that we need to improve, we'll improve it in the Taekwondo Dojang, and will help you build a smaller and better way of doing it that you can bring into the bigger world and in life. So if you look at someone and they're defensive or they're offensive, it's probably the way that they're going to compete. And if you see them in life, it'll be the same way that they are in the Taekwondo arena. So if you don't practice well, you don't pay attention, you don't focus, you won't focus in the Taekwondo school. But we can change that in the Dojang, and that's what we're going to strive to do. We are going to use the smaller world of Taekwondo to build a better, bigger world for your life. So use your Taekwondo training to build a better way to approach the problems and the challenges you have in your day-to-day life. Learn how to solve those problems by developing a step-by-step positive attitude, and then use those to build habits so that you can be successful not only in Taekwondo, but in the greater world and in life. This is your peak performance reassessment process using your Peak Performance Training Center training manual. The first step is to open your notebook and review your instructor's corrections. Then you'll revise your schedule and training plan, focus on the weaknesses from the above, maintain your best techniques and strengths, but your results, as you need to know and will remember, will always be based on your work product. Open your notebook. Take a look at all the corrections that we've given you over your period of your pretest, and more importantly, think about each class and that record that you've been keeping, trying to make yourself better and learn the techniques. Once you do this, you'll have a better understanding of what you need to improve, and then you can, number 2, revise your schedule and training plan. The original schedule will change based upon the instructor corrections, and your training plan may also change and need to be adapted to your new idea on how to get ready for your black belt test. Finally, focus on the weaknesses that you have listed from the above review. If you focus on those weaknesses and create a plan to correct them, then you will certainly be ready for the upcoming black belt test. 4, maintain the best techniques and your strengths. So don't forget to practice the things that you did well and keep those healthy so that they'll also be ready for your upcoming test. Finally, but most important, remember, your results will be based upon the work that you put in. What you put in is what you'll get out on the other side. If you train at 50%, you'll have a 50% result on the other side. If you train at 100%, then you'll be guaranteed a 100% result on the other side. Good luck as you continue to prepare for your black belt test. The first page of the training manual is broken down into weeks so that you can plan out your week of training and insert the different skills that you will be working on, for example, like pumse, sparring, or weapons. In this way, you can design your training program based upon your needs. This is the same system I used when I was training for the Olympics, and I would set up my training schedule based on a 6-week rotation and look at every day. I had 3 different training sessions, so I would use them so that I could set up the different aspects of my training and focus on what I needed to focus on. Your individual training program will be individual for you based on your needs and what you're trying to accomplish. You might spend more time on pumse, or you might spend more time on sparring drills, depending upon where you are in the program and what you need. You'll fix this daily and weekly and even monthly after talking to your instructor, but we base it on a 6-week training cycle. This will be followed by a daily post-training review. In this, you will ask yourself 2 questions, then you'll ask your coach or your parents the same 2 questions, and then finally you will ask yourself the final question. In this case, you'll ask yourself, what did I do well today? What did I do less well? Then you'll ask your coach, what do you think I did well today? And what did I do less well? And then finally, you'll make an observation as to what you think you might do better or differently in the future to adjust to your training and, more importantly, to reach your goals and outcomes. This daily review is important and it must be documented. This way you can have an opportunity to reflect back on how the training went, whether the drills or skills are working for you, and more importantly, the reflection and the observation of the coach with his analysis or her analysis will help you better plan for future success. And then finally, we're talking about our daily planner. This is where we think about how we're going to train each day, how many training sessions we'll be doing, and with who. So in this one, we use the example of training at home with your dad. You're doing target drills. It's an endurance workout, and they had a 90% completion rate. This is followed by an 11 a.m. workout with Master Riz in Mountain View, and they're doing chest protector drills, which are body conditioning, and it was a 100% completion rate. Finally, at 9 a.m. on a Saturday, there was a Foster City workout with your partner Kaya, doing Pumse and working strictly on technique with an 85% completion rate. This is where you build your daily plan for success. This is where you put together your entire workout each day. But more importantly, this is how you set up that 6-week training using that feedback to see how you can accomplish the goals you've set for yourself and become the best that you can be. You never know how your journey will start at peak performance. You'll come here as a small child with your sister or brother, and you'll make new friends, and you'll stay here to become the best that you can be. Along the way, you will learn amazing things, but the one thing that is certain, where you start will never determine where you end up. This is an example of one young man who had a dream, worked hard, and tried to make that dream a reality. And he ended up an Olympic champion. And so can you. Train hard, my friends. Here is a recap on the original program where we talked to you a little bit how to do your evaluation so you can set up your schedule. Remember, these are the most important tools as you prepare to become a black belt. When you joined the Black Belt Academy, we wanted to provide you with the method that I use to be successful at the Olympics. So here it is again, a small review. Here is your peak performance self-assessment process. First, open your notebook, reflect, write, and analyze. Then list your strengths, list your weaknesses, and then finally, list your best techniques and list your worst techniques. So now it's time to get started. The first step is to open up your notebook. Reflect, write, and analyze all the various aspects of your performance. What did you do well? What did you do less well? Ask someone else what you did well, what you did less well. And think about it, write down those notes because that's going to formulate what you do as you move forward in your training. The next step is to list your strengths. What did you do well? And why did you do it well? And how are you going to keep and maintain those strengths as you move forward in your training? Now it's time to list what you did less well. What did you do less well? And what were your weaknesses in your training? What could you improve upon? For example, maybe your forms weren't as sharp as they should be. Maybe your kicking wasn't as sharp as it could be. This is an important step in realizing what you need to work on so you can set your goals accordingly. Now list your best techniques. What is it that you do well? What techniques are you confident in? What techniques do you think that you have currently under your belt and you can pull out exactly when you need them? And then you need to list your worst techniques, whether they be in Pumse, sparring, or weapons. List the things that you need to work on because they're just not ready yet. And this is how you're going to build your excellence, and this is how you're going to get prepared to test at the next pre-test. List your worst techniques and develop a plan on how you're going to improve them. And finally, meet with your instructor. Together, You and your instructor will develop a plan for success. You will develop a schedule that you will use as you move forward to the next pretest. This will help you prepare and teach you how to set a goal, more importantly, how to schedule for success. It is only by planning for success that you can achieve success. So you're going to use this list, this self-analysis, and build a plan day by day, week by week, month by month, so that you can improve the techniques that need to be improved and you can still maintain the techniques that you currently have that you feel confident in. Together, we are going to become peak performance champions and peak performance black belts. We represent a community of excellence, and together we will find that place where we can excel. Now, it's important to remember, the only thing standing between you and your dream of becoming a black belt is you. If you apply yourself, you'll be able to achieve that dream, make your parents proud, and your family, your colleagues at Gold Medal, but more importantly, our community. Together, we are going to achieve this goal. I want you to stay strong, do your preparation, and see me weekly for any questions you might have. Congratulations on the first step of your journey.